We present ReMotion System, a fully automatic robotic proxy designed to support remote collaboration in open space. In a typical design review session, collaborators often move around in open space, shifting their focus from the design board to the artifact, looking at the artifact from different perspectives, and coming back to the board to discuss another element of the artifact. They also use head rotation to look at a specific part of the board or initiate face-to-face conversations. To accommodate such dynamic movements in open space, our software uses a Kinect camera that tracks movements of the user. To reproduce the complex and rapid body motion, ReMotion uses an omnidirectional platform that is able to flexibly change its position and orientation. Here is the side-by-side comparison between our method and the differential drive control used for typical telepresence robots. The omnidirectional drive is able to accurately reproduce the user's movements, but the differential drive occasionally creates movements that are not consistent with the user's movements. To capture facial expressions when the user is moving around, ReMotion uses a neckband system called NeckFace and renders the captured facial expressions on an articulated display. The articulated display can reproduce the orientation of a head by using a 9DOF IMU sensor attached to a pair of glasses. In a design session, pointing is useful to inform the area the collaborator is referring to. To support this, ReMotion also includes a pointing arm that indicates the user's general point and direction using the Kinect tracking. Combining these components, ReMotion is able to articulate what the remote user is doing in another location in real time. The robot moves to different positions around the table, synchronizing with the movements of the user. When the user moves to the shelf and looks around different parts of the shelf, the robot also maintains the intent of the user's conveying the user's focus of attention through the combination of body and head movements. Here are the typical interactions during a design review session using ReMotion. The mobile robot can indicate where the remote collaborator is looking and convey the notion of switching attention between the artifact and the board. The head rotations can be useful to establish face-to-face conversations or look at a specific part of the artifact for discussion. Collaborators can go back to the board to discuss another aspect of the design. The pointing arm can visualize the general point and direction as they discuss on the board. We conducted a within-subject study to evaluate the ReMotion system in comparison to a video conferencing tool called OWL. The participants completed a collaborative task with a confederate who was in a different location. They had an identical setup where there was a display that showed different aspects of a 3D printer, an actual 3D printer on a table, and a robot that represented their collaborator. To measure feeling of presence, we used a paper where they drew 2 circles on a map to indicate where they are located. The participants indicated on the map that they felt a stronger feeling of being together using our system compared to the OWL condition. We measured the time they shared attention during the task. The results showed that in the ReMotion condition, participants spent more time on sharing attention with their collaborator. In our subjective measurement, participants reported a stronger feeling of sharing attention compared to the OWL condition. To investigate how participants manage a space during the task, we used the heat maps of the recorded body positions. This indicates that, in the ReMotion condition, the participants were located mostly within the half of the workspace, reserving the other half of the space for the confederate. While in the OWL condition, they occupied more space in the room, not taking into account the location of the confederate. Moreover, the distribution of distance between the participants and the confederate indicates that the participants kept their social distance from the remote confederate. Using ReMotion, remote collaborators can conduct open space design activities while understanding each other's focus of attention.